Okay, for my next week 2 extension, what I have here is again the exact same setup for the two LEDs, except that I have actually moved the jumpers from pins 13 and 12 to 11 and 10. And I'll talk about why in a moment, but the idea is that I should be able to use the potentiometer reading to adjust these LEDs brightness at the same time, and that is what it's doing successfully. What I'm doing in the code is quite a bit different actually. So I do have two digital pins set up and the sensor pin at A0, and I've defined these pins 10 and 11, the digital pins, as output pins. And then I've also read the sensor pin to get an analog read. But then what I'm doing is an analog write to the digital pins. And when I'm writing to them, instead of writing a high or low value to switch them on or off, what I'm doing is taking the sensor value, dividing it by 4 so that it's in the proper range for an analog write, below 250 or 255 and below. And what that does is it creates a duty cycle for the LED that basically causes it to switch on and off at a rate according to what the sensor reading is. Now, I mentioned before that I had to change from pins 13 and 12 to 11 and 10, and one of the reasons that I had to do that was that this duty cycle basically is switching these LEDs on at a very, very rapid rate each second to make it brighter and to make it dimmer. And in order to make that work, you need to use some of these special digital pins here, which basically are called PWM pins, which are designed to handle wave modulation at high frequency. And so that is kind of the trick to making this little extension work. And that is, I think, another success. I have one more little trick up my sleeve that I'll show you in a moment.